And now let's take a look at another vulnerability. We are going to look at SQL injection, and we'll see there's a page for SQL injection to try it out. So here we go. If we just put in something random, there's no result. So if I find myself in the users list, then we get the result. But if we just search around, we're not going to get a list of other users that don't match. However, if we now do something like this, we see that it returns us a list of all the users, which in this case is 2 users. And if we look at the terminal, we'll see what this is doing behind the scenes. It's performing a query that says select users star from users where username is A or A equals A. And of course, this will always be true. So it just returns everything. And that's how SQL works, is it gives you everything that it has from a table if the condition that it has to satisfy is just evaluating to true. It doesn't really matter if it makes sense. It just has to evaluate to true. So if you just had something like where true equals true or 1 equals 1, and let's try that just as an example. So if we do A and then close that out again, and then we do 1 equals 1. So let's try that. Oh, 1 second, sorry. We need to close this out, of course. So there we go, it gave us the same thing back. So anything that evaluates to true is going to perform a select star, so essentially get back everything from a table. And if we know the names of other tables, we could even construct a longer injection query to get stuff from those tables as well. And as you can see, the query construction is open, so there's no parameterization, and that means that as soon as we escape out of this query that is being constructed here in the controller, then we are free to add our own stuff. And so the way that in Rails we actually don't do this, the way that we fix this is by doing where username and then params search. And so let's try that out. And let's clear this just to be easier to see. And then we do test. So there we go, we found the user test. Again, we found the user. And then if we search for something like hello, nothing comes back. And now if we try to do our trickery, it doesn't have any effect. And the reason for that is if you look at the query the way it looks now, it is now parameterized. So it's actually passing it to SQL as an array. And so even here where we have our attacking injection version, it parameterized it so it no longer can do any damage. And that is how we resolve a SQL injection attack, which could be introduced by bad programming practices for this particular instance in Rails.